Hello Cancer, this is your astrological forecast for October 2016. And this month, Venus is moving through Scorpio, your sister sign, so you're integrating the feelings of love and creativity. The artsy part of you is really coming to the surface and will linger with you until that of the 18th. Then Venus will be moving into Sagittarius, a more fiery area of your chart, which will be the 6th house. But right now here, it's in the 5th house. So enjoy your days until the 18th, where it is in the area of creativity, self-expression, love, romance, children, the businesses that you own. And so in that sense, Venus is going to be sweet here with you. Now Mars, which is our drive, our ambition, our goals, and so forth, currently cruising in Capricorn, which it really harmonizes because Mars is fiery and it is our desires and our goals, the work that we do, our physical energy, and then Capricorn is the mountain goats, right? So Mars wants to climb that mountain, and you're going to do that here now in October. Mars is now in your 7th house for love and relationships. That's where you're going to be pointing your energy. So with Venus in the 5th for romance, and then Mars in the 7th for long-lasting relationships, your significant other, you can see where the energy is going. Expect this to be a great month, especially those first 2 to 3 weeks, okay? So really get at it while you can. So also we got the new moon here this month, not before late. So let's talk a little bit about our moons. It's coming in on the 30th. And for you, it's going to be in this 5th house of love and romance. That's why I wanted to bring it up. So it's going to take position where Venus has paved the pathway, and this is where you want to plant your intentions, okay? So on the 30th, if this has now been a great month for you throughout all of October, then you want to have that little meditation where you plant those seeds and say, I want more of this. I want this to linger and last for the whole oncoming year, and you will see how it's going to grow and it's going to sprout throughout the year. The full moon, on the other hand, is on the 15th, and for you it's going to be in the area of your career. So you can expect to be in the limelight here where something is going to be illuminated, brought to the forefront, and I feel it's going to be good for you, Cancer. Why? Because it's initiating something, new starts, beginnings. We got Uranus there, so that full moon is going to be passing over it shortly after it is full, within hours in that first 24-hour phase. So 15th, 16th should be great news for career. Now, as you can see, there's 2 icons down below, the Astro Weekly and the and the Weekly Tarot, sorry. And if you're on your monitors, on your screens, you can just click it when we're done with this reading and go directly to listen to your weekly forecast. Doesn't matter what time throughout the month you're listening to it, it will always be updated. It's on a playlist there. And then you can follow your day-to-day, where we're also including the lunar aspects and transits and so forth, which we don't do on the monthly. We only get the new moon and the full moon, but the moon really regulates so many transits throughout the month. We could sit and talk for hours if we were going to do that, right? So that's what the Astro Weeklies are really, really good for. Just wanted to mention that before we start looking at the overall of the major transits here for October. And let me just tell you, circle in October 1st, when Venus and Neptune, they meet. Love, romance, spirituality, cosmic type love. Why? Because Neptune is that higher octave of Venus. So this is a great day to have a date, or also any kind of creative project. You could just come to feel how inspiration is filling you all the way down to your cellular level. And on the 5th, I see how you're securing something that you've been working on, that you've been wanting to secure. Saturn is giving some body, some roots, and it's asking you right now, Cancer, to look ahead long term. Always think about Saturn wanting to give you longevity on something. And I could see that you're kind of like between a rock and a hard place, because Mars and Jupiter, they're butting heads on the 5th. Mars is impulsive, it's active, it wants things now, right? And then Jupiter too. And so you might be confronted with needing to make a decision, like on the spot, and you might be tempted to do so, but then the Sun and Saturn is kind of telling you, maybe I shouldn't jump, maybe I need to check this out. And I think that is smart. Think long term here on the 5th. Then we have the 11th, which is a great day. Good news coming to you. I feel it has to do with expansion of some sort. It's a generous day. You might just feel like you're in this giving mode, and maybe you're also in the receiving mode of other people's generosity. Now, this conjunction between Mercury and Jupiter is in the area of home, family. So it could be good news here with or from some family member. And also I'm seeing that something you've been working creatively on, Mars and Neptune here, are now doing the dance, and your Neptune is in the 9th house. So you might just feel the urge to open up for a class, a career. When I say career, open up for doing research for a career, because that's where Neptune is working in the long transit for you, but Mars is prompting it and kind of saying, look into this. So you might find yourself spending some more time online for that. And in that case, I think you could find a great source of inspiration, which will allow you to kind of grow. But there is also here coming from the 7th house, so your partner might also come with some good news, but it's also a romantic time. On the 13th and 14th, well, more news coming in, and this has to do with a needed action, and I see that you're just going to have to jump. This day is okay, where it was a little iffy there on the 5th, but today it's good because it's aligned with great energy. Not only are you having to take a swift action today, but that Mars, which is the action part, is aligning with Saturn, saying it's okay to move now. It's okay to take that action with a long-term good outcome. Okay, and that's what we want. We want that security. On the 15th, we just need to be a little careful because we might be a little ditzy here on this day. This is the Sun and Uranus coming in on their annual opposition. And this is when we're not fully, excuse me, aligned, because our attention with the Sun is here, Uranus is over here, and this is when we might stump our toe, or we might walk into a doorway, that kind of a stupid thing, or a glass might just jump out of our hand, those kind of things. And it's just because Uranus is very abrupt, unexpected, there's a tension built up in our consciousness, but it's a passing, quick thing. However, let's more talk about the 25th, because that day can bring us a little bit of maybe a disappointment or something not going the way that we had hoped for. Maybe we had some expectations for this day if it's circled on your calendar to be special, and then there's a little bit of a letdown. This has to do with Venus and Neptune that might delay things for you, or say the date is delayed, but you know what? This happens every once in a while. The rain check will come very quickly, because already the next day on the 26th, there's damage control here. So that Venus that was a little hurt on the 25th is now coming in with a kiss and makeup from Jupiter, and so it's going to be even better than if you had followed along and carried through on the 25th. So those couple of days, it's like your axis is going like this, okay? So just hang in there. I'm also feeling, if you're starting something new there in October, that the 26th can actually be a great time to do so financially, because this is good money aspects as well. On the 28th, we were talking about being a little accident prone, and this happens when Uranus is not very well aspected. So we just had a minor kind of run in there on the 15th. However, though, on the 28th, we got Mars and Uranus doing the same thing, and it rules mechanical blow-ups and so forth. Mars being the mechanical driven part, Uranus rules anything technical. So we might have a system crash on our computers. We might have something wrong with a car. This is what I call the earthquake aspect. And, we have had a few earthquakes lining up here just this last month. It's a pressure building thing. And think about Mother Earth is alive too. So there's pressures in the tectonic plates. And the influences coming from outside is influencing Mother Earth as it is you and I. Everybody alive is feeling this. So it kind of comes to head with a sudden burst, a sudden pop, whatever it is. So we just want to be a little bit careful there on the 28th. And when our computers go haywire, we might even think that we're affecting it because we're feeling that tension, the agitation of Mars. And of course it goes over into the computer, but it's because even the computer is a part of Mother Earth, and the tension from the outer influences from space, right? So we're all affected by it. But this should pass. We can start feeling it on the 27th. 29th, it should pretty much be over, but the 28th is the exact date. For you and where it's going to fall out in your chart, the tension is between partnerships, your significant other perhaps, or people you work closely with, and then somewhere within the work area, okay? So it could be your career on this day. So not the best of time to actually have a meeting, even though I have to say, shortly thereafter, on the 29th, something's going to secure itself. It's going to come back together. So if something blew up, you're good to go on the 29th again. That's how quickly it can erupt and how quickly it can settle down again. So don't get too wigged out over it, all right? Just be aware that it's there and it's coming. So it's always good to be forewarned. That's the nice thing about astrology. And then, of course, on the 30th, we got that new moon, beautifully aligned there in that romantic house of yours. Great time to be with children and grandchildren and help them make their costumes, get prepared for Halloween. And speaking of Halloween this year, well, the moon is beautifully aligned to both Pluto and Mars. So it should be a great celebration where I can see that all the spooky, scary, Halloweeny stuff is there, in your costumes and so forth. So have fun, everyone. Go listen to your Astro Weekly, see what's up here now coming, and I will see you next month. Bye now.